Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the failure of the policy called appeasement. We start today by talking about Germany's expansion into Czechoslovakia. In our last video, we talked about Hitler's violation of the Treaty of Versailles, including the rearmament of their country and the reoccupation of a territory called the Rhineland, shown on this map outlined in pink. Shifting our focus to the eastern front of Germany, right here, the country of Czechoslovakia. And this light purple region around the edge is a region called the Sudetenland. In 1938, September, Hitler began to demand that the country of Czechoslovakia surrender this region called the Sudetenland to Germany. Czechoslovakia refused and turned to their ally France for help. France, already uncomfortable with the German aggression, wanted to do something, but they were unable to act alone. So France turned to its ally Britain for support. Britain and France, wanting to stop the German aggression while also avoiding war, decided to meet with Hitler in Munich, Germany, to discuss the Sudeten crisis. Ultimately, at this conference, so-called Munich Conference, because the meeting happened in Munich, Germany, the countries agreed that Germany would get the Sudetenland that it wanted. Czechoslovakia would surrender that land in exchange for Hitler's promise to respect Czechoslovakia's new borders, and that Hitler would promise that this would be his, quote, last territorial demand in Europe. Hitler kept his promise for 6 whole months. In March of 1939, Germany invaded the rest of Czechoslovakia, annexing the territory into its empire. Now, upon seeing this, Stalin in the Soviet Union becomes increasingly worried. Hitler and Germany are becoming stronger and more powerful. They're expanding their borders, and Stalin realizes that both Britain and France are too hesitant, too afraid to stand up to Hitler. As a result, Stalin himself approaches Hitler to make an agreement. Now, both Stalin and Hitler realize this agreement is an agreement of convenience. Neither man believes that it will last, but they are both attempting to buy time. Stalin and Hitler agree to a pact that is sometimes called the Non-Aggression Pact. At other times, it is called the Nazi-Soviet Pact. But this agreement, regardless of what you call it, is the agreement that Germany and the Soviet Union will not fight each other for 10 years. For both countries, this will buy them time. Germany, right now, in the short term, will not have to worry about taking on the Soviet army. And Stalin will have time to build his military, to militarize his nation, to defend itself when Germany comes calling. Again, neither man believes that this pact will last, but they are both buying time for their own purposes. Once the Non-Aggression Pact or Nazi-Soviet Pact is inked, the two countries agree that they will attack and divide Poland. In September, actually in August of 1939, Hitler begins to make demands on Poland. Poland turns to its ally Britain and France for help. Poland is hoping for a different answer than Czechoslovakia got when they turned to Britain and France for help. Britain and France do say that they will help Poland if Germany invades. Germany, on September 1st, 1939, calls their bluff. September 1st, 1939, the German military invades Poland in concert with the Soviets, and that begins World War II. France and Britain do declare war on Germany on September 3rd, 1939. But France and Britain had not spent the last decade preparing for war, remilitarizing their countries. So while they declare war on September 3rd, they are not actually able to fight in it. Britain and France will now have to undertake the long process of mobilizing and militarizing their nations. In the meantime, the Soviet Union helps Germany defeat Poland. It takes all of 17 days. And Poland is divided between the Soviet Union and Germany, as seen here on this map. Now, you will also notice on this map the other purple countries. Both Austria and Italy have turned purple on this map, indicating that they are part of the Axis powers. This is because of the Rome, Berlin, Tokyo axis, where Italy and Germany have allied, and Austria makes the decision to willingly join the German Empire. So we have Germany, half of Poland, all of Czechoslovakia, Austria, and Italy, all part of the Axis powers. And the small country Albania, to the bottom of your map, was invaded by the Italians and overtaken by them. You have the Allied powers, Britain and France, who have declared war on Germany. And you have the Soviet Union, who for now is agreeing not to fight against the Nazis, but also is not an allied country. We'll talk more about the Soviet Union in future lessons.